everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabriel, here with my brother Anthony. What? And we're on the way home. This is Sunday Night Talk, coming at you from Manhattan. Where are we right now? 5th Avenue and 49th Street, right by across the Puma store.
Oh shit. Puma's coming back.
Puma's coming back?
Yeah. They signed so many athletes. This is from the NBA.
I mean, that's cool. I guess.
No one. Why would you sign to Puma? I don't know.
I mean, Puma's comfortable. You know, have you ever worn Pumas?
Nope.
They're comfy. It is what it is. You know. We were just talking about cars. Owning. Like I was saying, if I were to live in like like the South or something like that, probably get a nice fat H2 Hummer. You know, probably the smaller one, the smaller H2, right? Because there's different types, ain't there? I think there are.
I do know they made a Hummer that can like ride on top of on water. You heard about that?
No.
You should look it up on YouTube.
I don't think I would need that. So.
You can ride on water.
It's like I need to cross some rivers. Let my car turn into a freaking hovercraft real quick.
It's cool. Like the wheels turn like. Oops. From.
You sure it's a Hummer and not just like some weird car?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
You know who Supercar Blondie is?
Nope.
Well, she's on Instagram and she like showcases like all these type of exotic cars and supercars. And
she has friends in high places. I'd take it.
Yeah, most likely.
Supercars.
Like you have Supercar Blondie.
Supercars are kind of useless because they can't deal with bumps.
That's why you don't drive it on bad roads.
But bad road is everywhere. Yeah, nice and tight. Hey, let's go. Anywho, it is the start of my vacation.
Wait, what?
I took 1 week off this week.
Me too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're lying.
No, bro.
This is not planned.
I was going to tell you too.
We had a psychological link in the third plane of existence.
I know.
And decided to schedule our vacations for the same week. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's a challenge, bro.
Oh, that's a challenge. Oh!
He takes my leg.
Bye. This guy was apparently in a rush. Just literally cut us off for no reason. Like, okay, guy, we weren't even going the same direction. You know.
We probably are going the same way, but he just knows a different route.
Oh well.
I know.
Back to vacation talk.
I know.
Yeah, usually I take my vacation time all in one big lump. I have 3 weeks vacation, but I didn't do that this year. I'm taking one vacation this week, and then the next week is for the 19th.
Yes, me too. Oh my god.
I mean, so that one was planned.
Yeah.
That the Juneteenth vacation was planned.
Yeah.
To be synchronized. I still don't know if Mars is doing it or not. But we'll find out sooner or later.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So what are you planning on doing this week, Mr. Bachelor?
Exercising a lot. Saturday though, I'm planning to go to Minnewaska State Park with Melissa, Marcel, and Pamela. You could join if you want.
To where?
Minnewaska State Park.
Minnewaska.
Yeah.
What is this?
It's known for its hiking trails. And beautiful views at the end of the trail.
See, the thing is, I have kids.
Catherine could watch them though.
But Catherine wants this week off too, though.
What?
No, she I mean, she only asked for this week off because she knows I'm taking vacation. Yeah.
They could come.
Huh?
They could come. We could like rent this big van.
See, but
A 2-hour drive.
Mars would have to be comfortable with that. So, I don't know. I mean, I could ask. When is it?
Saturday.
Oh, it's the end of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe mommy could watch the kids too. We'll see. We'll try to figure it out.
Let's go.
And then y'all could just pick me up.
Let's go. Even though you can walk. Let's go.
Oh. Yeah. How y'all getting there?
Just driving.
Huh?
Driving.
Yeah. So
I don't mind
my assumption was correct.
I know.
Oh, that was a bump. Made the camera go all types of crazy. Shaky cam for the win. For Sunday night talks.
What's up, cop?
That flashlight up there, it tricks me every time. Like, I think is everybody speeding? Is it taking pictures of everybody? It's gonna give them tickets. Oh, look at this. Nice bright light. Anyway.
It's catching our license plates.
So aside from Saturday, it's just chill week.
For now, but if you guys want to do something, I don't mind. We could go to an arcade cafe, whatever it's called, gaming cafe, or we could go play pool. Oh, I'm down for anything. I don't know why I said it like that.
Yeah. I mean.
And John's off too.
Yeah. Why is John off?
Well, he's not working anymore. He's been to a few interviews for now, but there's no like exact date that he was starting.
So the spot that he had over there in your building wasn't permanent?
Yeah, it was part time, but John wasn't feeling it.
Oh, all right. It is what it is.
And of course, our parents got mad at him because he didn't make sure he had a job first before leaving. He just left.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean that is usually the smarter thing to do, but yeah, young anyway, so it's not literally not even in your mid-20s yet.
I know. Oh my God, I'm right there. October 25.
So, like while they are correct, they also should be a little bit less hovery. How's the actual line today? What is this?
People are such
Unknown.
I hate this.
Anyway, so we've hit traffic in the first time that I've been on road. Really? I mean, aside from that accident.
Oh.
You remember that accident? But we didn't see it. They were just closed off the lane, and then we were like crawling along that night. Yeah. Anyways, it's cleared up now. I guess it's temporary. But
they're just so scared. Slow down. I'm scared.
They're not confident. They don't become one with their car. They don't know how far the what's it called? The front of the car?
Yeah.
So
the front bumper.
Mars is like that. She's not confident on the edges of her car, how far the front of it is. She's lacking that, I guess, experience.
It really is just experience.
Yeah.
Because I'm so good now that I can.
Mr. Humble.
I know, I gotta say. Because I'm a very humble person. I just have moments where, just trying to.
Okay.
And then I go back.
Very articulate. Bro, I think I'll finally be able to at least number these episodes during this week. Because they all just have the exact same title. And it's impossible. I mean, unless looking at the date, it's impossible to tell when was what. But I'll be able to number them, put a little bit, I'll listen to them as well, put a little like descriptive summary of what it, some talking points that were had and stuff like that. I mean, I find some level of amusement doing that type of stuff, like editing and video a little bit more, less raw. A little bit more, less raw. Whoosh, I can talk.
Whatever.
I talk English. I speak English very well. Oh man. Oh. Yeah.
I gotta go, guys.
You got what?
So I gotta go.
Oh, to that guy. We just passed him, dude. I was just going slow. Yeah. But anyways, what have I seen in the media today? I mean, this week being talked about. I guess the main thing that I saw was that lieutenant that got pulled over, and he got pepper sprayed and stuff like that.
I was a bit like about it because I don't really know what happened before. So I'm like, let me.
Yeah, I mean, Mars said that she's been following the story as much as she could. She basically said that it was just a routine traffic stop as far as that goes initially, and the cops obviously asked him to pull over, and he kept driving for like another minute or 2 minutes after being told to pull over. And on the radio, that you could hear the cop saying, I mean, he's probably like trying to reason, or he's probably like looking for because it was like dark where they were at. So the cop, Mars said that the cop was talking on the camera, and he was trying to like reasons, like he's probably just looking for a place that's better, more lit, and to pull over and stuff like that. But nonetheless, that is still a red flag when you get told to pull over and you keep driving, even if you're slowing down and whatnot. You get told to pull over, you just pull over. If they tell you to let's go somewhere else, then you go ahead and do that. You don't take it upon yourself to do that.
That's happened. I experienced that with Dad when we got into like a minor accident where he hit a car. Yeah, he was behind the car. He didn't stop fast enough and he hit the car. And of course, like we were like stopped in the middle of the highway and of course causing major traffic. So that's why the police asked us to move to another spot.
Right. Yeah. So
they will ask that just in case people don't believe that.
Yeah. No. And then I do believe that should be something that people should be made aware of. Is when you're told to stop by the cops, you just go ahead and stop right then and there. Literally, just pull over. And if it's a bad spot, that's on the cops. To be honest, that's. If the cops tell you to pull over, it's because they probably feel that it's an okay spot to pull over. Yeah, and if the situation plays out that it's not, it's the responsibility is on the police to make the stop move to another location. It is not on the civilian. Anywho, that being said, so along the route or whatever, like in those couple minutes that the guy was looking for the lieutenant was looking for a better place to pull over. I think during that time they escalated the traffic stop to a felony traffic stop. So then that's why when the guy finally did pull over, the cop had backup and everybody got out there. All the cops got out their car, weapons drawn. Because that is actually the norm for a felony traffic stop. A felony traffic stop, once that's been called, cops will come out with their weapons drawn. That is procedure. That is not like a thing that crazy cops do. That is what we are expecting cops to do during a felony traffic stop. Now, what is the reasoning for a felony traffic stop? I don't think the cops can really justify it. So maybe they were wrong in escalating it to a felony traffic stop. And if so, then that's on the cops. However, once it's already at that point, we have to expect that the cops treat it as such. We can't assume that they're gonna come to a felony traffic stop and just be chill. No, it's a felony traffic stop. They have to come out as aggressive as they did. Anywho, in the video, we then see them, telling the lieutenant over and over again to get out the car. Initially it was put your hands outside of the car. And then once he had done that, then they told him to get out the car. Once they were close, and the lieutenant didn't do that. Once they were close, the lieutenant said that he was just so scared that he didn't want to do anything. So that's what the lieutenant said. There's no reason to disbelieve that he was literally petrified with fear. Like, I guess so. It's not uncommon to people. It makes sense that if you're being pulled over with guns drawn and that you'll be scared. I would assume that somebody that has military training wouldn't freeze up like that in those type of situations, but maybe you're home, so maybe you don't expect that type of situation to occur. But obviously because of fear or because of whatever reason, he was just not doing anything, even though the cops were telling him to do specific things. And then at that point, the cops decided to pepper spray him while he's in the car. Unfortunately, he did also have his doggo in the car in the back seat.
The dog got affected too, right?
Of course. Pepper spray is an area of effect. It's not just a single person. You spray the spray, and everybody in the general vicinity is going to be affected by that, especially if it's in an enclosed area like a car. I think that was uncalled for by the cops, especially because he was still in his car. You're not supposed to pepper spray anybody in an enclosed area. That is I don't know what the procedure for cops is, but I know that the instructions on pepper spray bottles says do not use in an enclosed space. You know what I mean? So,
and he wasn't even getting attacked, so there's no reason to pull him out.
Yeah, it is true that the lieutenant was not following orders. This is true. So maybe the cop was in his head thinking that he's not following orders because he's trying to do something else. He's buying time to get to his gun or do something. You never know what type of cop you're dealing with, which is always why it's a good idea to limit your vocabulary. Don't ask why. Don't ask what did I do. Just yes sir, no sir, I don't know sir. Follow directions as best as possible, because you never know the cop you're dealing with is a cool dude, that's literally just going by the numbers, or if you're dealing with a cop that's been shot before and is gonna escalate, super fast, or you never know. People forget cops are people. Cops are not some type of super soldiers.
Speaking of.
Huh?
Speaking of.
Oh, there's some type of big traffic thing going up on the bridge above here. This is a bridge, yes. This is that's what that's called, a bridge. Or an overpass, maybe. I don't know, something like that. Anyways, so, but so we can all pretty much agree that the pepper spray was a bit much. It is a non-lethal option, by the way. So it's not, in terms of what would you have preferred the cop to do if the cop felt that verbal communication was ineffective? Would you have preferred that he ripped the door open and pull the guy out by force, or pepper spray? If these were the only options the cop felt were available to him, I don't know. That's up to.
It's tough to say what I would do, because I've never been, in that situation.
Right.
But I feel like the logical way was to calm the situation down and make sure both sides are in agreement.
Yes. And it's not as if all the cops were acting super aggressive in that situation. Yeah. It was the one cop that pepper sprayed was the one that was very adamant about what he wanted to get done and what he was expecting the lieutenant to do. But that being said, I don't know. you know, everybody's always quick to criticize the police.
I'm telling you that. I'm about the whole time.
This guy just zoomed by. Comfortable.
In the rain.
In the rain. Comfortable in the rain.
Don't they tell you in Need for Speed, like, when it's raining, the road is slippery? So
Yeah. So, I mean... Because I can see both sides of the argument. I would defer to what the like regulation is for a felony traffic stop. You know how, you know, because the argument whether or not it was okay to escalate it to a felony traffic stop is kind of besides the point. You know, like we can make that, we can kind of just solve that just by looking at the book. But we kind of have to work with the fact that at that point it was a felony traffic stop, so we have to like go with by what is regulation during a felony traffic stop, and it's like what would justify the use of pepper spray in a felony traffic stop? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not a cop. I don't want to be a cop. Way too much work. Not enough pay.
I have a friend who wants to be a cop, and he's like in the final stages of.
Yeah. I mean, I knew people in college as well. You know.
Yeah.
I knew people in college as well that did that. That is, you know, it's a personal decision if you feel compelled to do that. But I mean, but at the same time, you know, because my news sources are, I mean, they're somewhat balanced, you know. So I saw the lieutenant video. I looked into it after Mars brought it up, and then once I started looking into that, my feed automatically recommended a different video of a different situation in which a cop was doing a routine traffic stop. Different people, and the passenger went from 0 to 100 in less than 10 seconds, and the cop is dead. You know, so, and in the video, on the dash cam video of the cop car, and we can hear the audio, I guess, from the police's body cam, the cop was being nothing but nice. You know, the cop was being very polite. It was a routine traffic stop. It wasn't a felony traffic stop. But the cop did ask if the guy had a weapon. The guy said yeah. And, you know, the cop said, do you mind if I take that off of you for both of our safety? You know, unfortunately, when the guy got out of his car, he simply turned around and shot the cop. The cop ended up passing away. So my problem is the way that a lot of these stories are presented. People that know the story of the lieutenant have no idea about the cop that just died. And the cop that died is more recent. You know, the story with the lieutenant is, the video is just being released, but it's like, it's a 2-year-old story. You know? But it's like, I could present the story of the cop getting shot, which is recent, and they'll be like, oh, I didn't know about that. It's like, well, of course you did, because your sources of information are severely biased.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, I always try to let people know is that you need to question where you're getting your information from. You know, because a lot of times you're being painted this narrative, you know, and even on the story that introduced me to the story of the lieutenant, it was like, this is America.
Oh.
You know, they are already trying to paint it as a race thing, even though the cop escalated it to a felony traffic stop before the guy even got out, before the dude had tinted windows as well. There was no way that the cop knew that the guy was black. No way at all. But he had already called it a felony traffic stop. So how is this a race issue when the cop was already escalating it before he even knew the race of the man? You know? And it doesn't do anybody any favors to call an issue that is much deeper than race a race issue. You know, because then at that point you're solving an equation with the wrong number. Like you're solving for a problem that isn't the problem. You know, so yeah, it's like, yeah, there is an issue with policing in the United States. It's much more complicated than a race issue. It's much more complicated than that. And people that are continuously trying to push policing, the problems that we have with policing in the United States as a race issue, are doing a disservice to the people that are most negatively affected by those issues. You know what I mean? You know, and then people wonder, like, why nothing gets done. Well, it's because you're looking for a solution to the wrong problem. Of course that is going to get fixed. You're not fixing the actual problem. You're not even directing your resources towards the actual problem. You're here concerned about race when the issue is, to use their own term, systemic. It's not a racial thing. You know, it's like, Eric D. July, you know that YouTuber, Young Ripper? He said this a long time ago when it comes to police issues. Like, if you think that the issues with cops in the United States is a race issue, you are not paying attention. And he is absolutely correct. Anybody that says, "Oh, this is how cops treat black people in America, or minorities, or this, that, and the third," talking about race, and you're trying to make that the issue when it comes to the policing in the country, dude, you're not paying attention at all. And it won't be that big of a deal if all these resources that are being pushed towards solving the race issue with policing wouldn't be distracting from the actual issue with policing. You know, it goes all the way down to recruitment, how police recruit new and training and mental health assessment for potential recruits, physical assessments. You know, like we had that one big fat cop that got shot by that black lady. It was another routine traffic stop, right? And she was not being compliant, and she pulled out a gun and shot him in the gut. He's okay, thankfully, but he is severely overweight. You know, we're talking about he's over 300, easily over 300. You know, so it's like, yeah, there are so many more issues going on with police in the country, that to try to, I don't know, simplify it or focus on some type of race problem is doing a disservice to everybody that's affected by this stuff. Everybody, from the cops themselves to the people that they're policing. That's what I think. But I get called, you know, insensitive for saying stuff like that. It is what it is.
Insensitive for using an argument that's not been popularly.
You know, and you know what it really is that these people that disagree with what I just said are, most of the time, they're just being lazy, because it's easy to blame it on race. So easy. And then once you blame it on race, you don't got to think about it anymore. Like, oh, it's because he's black. That's it. It's the same type of logic that religious fundamentalists make when they're talking about everything. Like, why? Because God said so. Like, oh yeah, because God said so. These people worship race. Race is their God.
Faith God.
You know, but it's like no. A one-word answer. If you have a one-word answer to something as complicated as police brutality in the United States, that already tells you, like, you haven't thought about the issue at all. If your answer to police brutality is race because racism, why? Racism. If that's all you can say, I'm sorry, but you a dumbass. You know, and you need to stop pretending to know what you're talking about because you obviously don't. That's what I think. I was kind of hogging the camera there for a second.
You were.
So let me put Anthony back in the shot.
I mean, like you had the mic. That's all you had.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm just like, damn.
Truth. You know, it's laziness, and then these people they think that they're coming from like a morally superior position. It's like, oh, I'm a good person because I'm calling cops racist. You're not. You're not a good person for distracting from an issue that can be solved if the resources are properly allocated to the actual problem. But as long as people out here screaming racism, nothing gonna get changed. You know? But then they're gonna get mad when things stay exactly the same. Even though you have plenty of people saying it's your fault that things are the same. Like, nobody to blame but yourself. You know? I mean, look at Biden. Like, he just came out a couple days ago, said, maybe like a week ago or something like that, like, oh, we're considering reinstating the construction of the border wall. I'm like, no shit! Like, come on, dude. Like, yo, it's ridiculous.
Wait, did they deconstruct the wall?
No, they just stopped it. They just stopped the progress on it. It's already paid for. The allocation, the funding, the jobs, all of that is already allocated. It's already spent. They just stopped the construction. It's like, oh, you want to restart that, huh, Biden? Moron.
Speaking of Biden, doesn't he look exactly like Clint Eastwood?
Does he? No.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Exactly like, yeah.
An old decrepit necromanced Clint Eastwood. Yeah. Biden might actually be like a hologram. You don't know. Conspiracy time.
Can I put the music in the background?
What music?
The Illuminati.
There's a tune for that?
Yeah.
What the hell? Not even I knew that. That's funny. Hey, you're old school, right? No? Yes. Yeah. For like you're half school anyways. Yeah, I weren't there for too long.
Yeah, true. We got there when we were 3rd grade.
Yeah. Passing by a precinct right now.
Oh, speaking of
the 105th precinct here in Queens Village, New York.
School.
They do a good job. Don't lie. They be out here patrolling all the time. I was a couple weeks ago during the summer. A couple months ago during the summer. What am I talking about? Months ago during the summer, during the end of the summer, fallish time. I was out having a cigar, and the cop passed me by. He gave me the meanest look. Like, what are you smoking?
No.
You know, but you can tell. You know, a cigar is you to tell it's a cigar. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a mean. Like, I mean, like he just stared. It wasn't like a mean look. He was just, you know, he looked hard. You know. It wasn't legal back then. It's legal now, though. It's legal now. No, but it's like. Yeah, it was just funny. Like, yeah, it's a cigar, bro. You want to come join?
See, now that's something that you do.
What?
Join.
I mean, plenty of cops see like kids playing basketball and shit like that. You know, take off their gear for a little while, help out, you know, and stuff like that. You know? So that's the thing. The news, and a bunch of these leftist people on social media, they're never going to present the cops in a positive light. Because it'll destroy their narrative. Even if there's one good cop. Because, oh,
I did not see that.
Messed up your damn wheels there with that one.
I mean, that's probably slow.
Yeah, but you know how Antifa says ACBC. ACBC?
All cops,
ACAB. All cops are B words. According to Antifa. But we are here. We are home. This is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you in the next one.